You get to a point in your life where you just don't care anymore. You're like, whatever, it is what it is. Do what you want to do, say what you want to say. All right, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. Welcome to Teamu Finance, where we talk about leveling up, we talk about finance, we talk about self growth, and we also talk about basically growing our money and all the ways that we can do it. When I said that you get to a point where you don't care anymore, it's because it's a point in my life that I got to. I got to a point where I was just like, look, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to do me, and I'm not going to seek any external validation from anybody else. I'm not going to seek nobody's approval. I'm not going to ask for unsolicited advice. I'm not doing it anymore. And let me tell you exactly why I started doing that. Well, first thing is I wanted some freedom. I wanted some financial freedom, first of all. I wanted financial freedom, I wanted emotional freedom, and I also wanted my own validation. So, in doing so, I realized that I had to literally stop getting or seeking validation from people. I had to stop asking people for their opinions because I figured out that I ended up getting bad advice. In me trying to seek validation or approval from people, I was getting bad advice. Now, I don't know if they were giving me bad advice on purpose, or maybe I got a little bit wiser and I was like, this opinion or this advice is just not going to make sense. It's not going to work for me. So as a result, when I realized that, I just stopped asking people for their opinions when it came to, my life and issues that I had to iron out in my own life. So let me explain to you exactly what you get from not seeking or not getting validation from people. You have to understand that a lot of people, they don't want to see you doing well. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to get better. So many times, even before you ask them for validation or you ask them their opinions or you ask them for approval or any type of advice, they've already planned or set up that they were going to try to dissuade you or give you negative or bad advice anyway. So before you knew that, you eventually went and asked them for their opinion and advice because you felt like you needed them to approve. Let's say, you wanted to start a business. You've always wanted to open, that little dog sitting business or whatever it is that you do. You always wanted to open that little hair salon. And you already have your regular 9 to 5, but you feel that, you can definitely do it. And so you say, listen, I'm going to ask my best friend, or it could even be a family member, a close relative, what they think of me starting that business. And all they're going to tell you and all they're going to say are negative things. They're not going to give you any concrete advice because they don't want to validate you and they don't want to give you that approval. They don't want you to get to that level where you're going to start making that money, which is going to change your life. Because at the end of the day, we know that, money answers all, right? Doesn't matter what line of work you do, whether you're employed or you're unemployed, everybody needs a dollar to spend. But what I was referring to is that if you eventually went to somebody for that approval or to ask their opinion on whether you should start that business that I mentioned, most likely they're going to tell you, listen, yeah, you're crazy. Don't leave your job. It's a waste of time. Where you going to get money to fund it? They're not going to validate you. They're not going to give you a C of approval. And the reason why they're not going to give you a C of approval, because it could be a few reasons. It could be they're jealous. It could be where they never fulfilled their life dreams. It could be where they don't think that you can do it. It could be where they think that you're not going to gain, or there's no gain, or there's no momentum for them even advising you. So as a result, you're going to get bad advice. And what I have to say to that is that stop asking people for advice. Stop seeking validation. Stop seeking approval. Do what you need to do on your time when you feel it's right and it's good for you. Now, the example that I use as starting a business, if like, say, for example, you wanted to do that hair salon, you've never been in the line of, beauty care, you've never been in the line of salons, and you do need some type of business advice. It's okay to go and ask people that are in that line of work. And you got to be careful about that too, because sometimes even if you know people that are in the line of work that you want to start that business in, they're gatekeepers. Again, the gatekeepers are not going to validate you either, because you're going to be seen as competition for them. But what I'm saying is, if you need, good advice, the right and proper channels, you're going to start consulting people, professionals. Okay, you're going to see professional people. You might want to take a seminar. You might want to, consult the board or the place that regulates that business. You got to talk to people that are non-biased, people that basically have no interest in your endeavors. They have no interest in your life. People that don't know you from a can of paint. They're just literally doing their jobs by telling you what you need to know to get started. The next thing that I wanted to add is that whenever you want to start anything, and rather than going to seek validation, a lot of times we seek validation because we're lazy. We figure we can just go to somebody and ask them what to do, and they'll easily tell us and cut some of the work out or take some of the work, because starting a business or even getting any type of advice to do anything, it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work that you got to put in, a lot of time, a lot of dedication. But you end up wasting more time asking people that refuse to properly advise you, or don't want to validate you, or just give you bad advice on purpose when you're being lazy. So why not take the time and sit there and do it on your own and seek help or get advice from professional people or people that are in that line of work if you really want to, get something that are getting accomplished. So the lesson here that I'm basically saying is this: stop wasting your time, your precious time that you can invest in growing, your endeavors or your business or whatever it is that you want to invest your time in. Stop wasting it on people that are giving you bad, unsolicited advice. Again, if this is the first time you're joining me or you join me regularly, my name is Mel. This is Teamu Finance. If this content resonates with you, please hit, the like button, subscribe, share the message. It'll really help to get it across the algorithm. I appreciate your support. Stop wasting your time with people that don't want to help you. Now, some people might say, oh, in getting advice or getting validation, I talk to my family member, they're in their corner. Listen, let me tell you something. I know it's a very hard thing to hear, but it doesn't mean because they're family, they're in your corner. In my own personal life, and I've gotten my fair share of bad advice. I've had it where I wasn't validated properly. I wasn't taught the ropes. I wasn't shown certain things that would have been valuable to me in the long run. And that was family members. People that I thought were supposed to be in my corner were never in my corner. But we moved along across that. And then as a result, I learned that, I can't be depending on people that are disingenuine. And this is what happens when you seek validation or approval from people that are disingenuine or people that are not in your corner. They're not going to give you the right advice. And most times, even if they give you advice, they're going to try to persuade you from doing what you want to do. In other words, they're going to try to negate your dreams. They're going to try to move you away from what your dream is or what you want to accomplish. Because they don't have it, they don't want you to get it. You got to have a mindset of who cares. Mindset of who cares what you think. I don't need to ask you any questions. I don't need you to validate me. I don't need you to be negative. You got to start surrounding yourself with positive people. People that are going to be honest with you and people that are going to tell you the truth. And let me tell you, if you come across a person that you believe is initially genuine and because everybody has discernment. Everybody has some type of wisdom to know when the person or the situation or even the environment that they're dealing with, if it's bad or it's toxic. We all know better. But we have to, exercise that discernment that we get in order to, to get to the next level where we want to get. We all have wisdom. But the question is, are we all using our wisdom? And a lot of us don't. And this is why we end up getting bad advice and seeking external validation from people that don't care about us. But my whole take on this message today is that I just want anyone, and this goes for me also, to stop seeking validation and approval from anybody. I stopped doing that years ago. Years ago. I don't ask for your opinions. I don't ask. I don't question. Like, I don't need anybody's opinion to tell me how to live my life. If I'm confronted with a situation that I don't have any advice, yes, again, as I said, I will seek professional advice. Or what I always do is I pray. I literally pray about it, and I ask God to guide me and show me the right and proper way. But no way am I or did I continue wasting my time with people that refuse to honestly validate me and show me the ropes. When I learned to stop seeking validation from people, my life changed. I became happier. I pursued more things. I got to different levels. I started seeing more blessings. Things that I didn't realize were blessings, or things that were clear in front of my eyes before that I didn't see or I didn't recognize, I started seeing them. I totally changed my life when I stopped seeking approval and validation from people. The only validation approval that I need is from God. I don't need it from anybody else. We're not wasting any more time on people that do not care about us and don't want us to grow. If you got this far in my message, I do thank you for your time, and I thank you for listening. The only thing that I'm advising anyone to do is, if you want to pursue something, you want to try a new endeavor, you want to go for a new job, you want to build your skill set, whatever it is that you want to use or you want to get to your financial freedom. Because at the end of the day, why do we pursue things? Why do we open businesses? Why do we take new courses? Why do we invest in things? Because at the end of the day, as I always say, money answers all, right? And we're trying to make a little bit more money because money gives us that financial freedom. But you're never going to get that freedom if you're waiting for people to give you the go-ahead and the approval to do what you want to do. They'll never give it to you. They won't give it to you because they're not giving it to themselves. Half of these people don't even care about their own endeavors. So why would they care about yours? With that said, if you get a moment, I do have a new ebook out, 10 Steps to Level Up Your Money. You can find it in the link in the description. And it talks about a few things, up to 10 things that you can do just to kind of line your money up and get it right. These are some of the steps that I've used before and so forth, and I still currently use them in my life. They work wonders. Just give yourself a moment to, read the ebook, pick your copy up. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful read. With that said, people, again, comment, like, subscribe, and share the information. Put yourself first. Worry about you first. Don't waste your time seeking validation from anybody. Because at the end of the day, you don't need them. And the biggest thing from this message today is, who cares? Who cares what they think? What's important is what you think. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.